doing the intro for the stream, or is this on me? If you are watching,
it's on you, baby.
If you're watching on Twitch, if you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, any other live platform, so you got, if you're just poking your nose in the window looking for a cooling pie, welcome to the Props Network. This is TPN, the walk-on. I am Joel Wachowski, coming to you live from the Bushwick betting bunker. Over there in the John Wilkes is my guy, my techie trekkie. He puts the buy in binary coding.
Hey now.
Brian Allen Mitchell.
Hello. The Cleveland Browns stay.
No, they don't. No, they do not, Brian.
Okay.
We told everyone going into that game, because you know what? Listening back to last week's shows, I was right about everything. And
yeah. I was skeptical too. You know, Kyle was like, "Oh yeah, they're gonna win," but I'm like, I don't think Kareem Hunt is that back that can. I mean, do you see how strong the Pittsburgh Steelers are? Just single. They are very beefy men, and they know how to do their job very well.
Well, I knew I didn't care about that loss because you haven't won in Cleveland in 16 years. In Pittsburgh, rather, in 16 years.
Right. Thank you. Thanks for bringing up all the history.
Hey, if I'm, as a Lions fan, we go up 10 points, I got to deal with a montage of the Lions blowing double-digit leads, so you got to deal with that on this show.
Yeah, and that's okay. I'm cool with that. But just, sheesh.
But it's okay. Your quarterback shouldn't have played in that game.
He shouldn't. You are so right, Joel. If you're going to study for a test, like the hardest test of the year, and you don't go to school all week, should you play? No.
No, like I have an accounting quiz tomorrow, and like I studied yesterday, the day before that, I'm going to study tonight, I'm going to study tomorrow morning, and I'm ready. If Baker Mayfield was in the class, he'd just show up tomorrow, not know how to log into the course at all.
Yeah, but I took mental reps. Teach, I'm okay.
Yeah, Baker Mayfield, he'd need a booster seat to reach the computer.
Hey now, okay, come on, he's tall. I can't even make that. I can't even laugh without saying that.
Yeah, but you're taller than Baker, so I commend you for that.
Thank you.
But not a bad loss. This is just a Pittsburgh team that's peaking at the right moment. This Claypool thing, like you knew coming into this week that story was just going to take off.
Oh, well, I mean, you're still going to do, you score 4 touchdowns the game before, but yeah, you're still going to do your job. And he's just a beefy man. I'm saying it again. Steelers are all just full of beef, just like American beef.
What do we do with these third rounders? Like last year, we saw, Seattle, you can plug any receiver into that system. They'll be better than everyone. And we knew there was one receiver who was more physically gifted than anyone else in the draft last year. DK Metcalf.
DK all day.
He got passed on by every team twice. Goes to the Seahawks this year. The Steelers. Anyone can succeed as a skilled position player in there. Le'Veon Bell, we've seen how it's turned out. We've seen how it's turned out with Antonio Brown, Mike Wallace. The list goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
But somehow there's this guy in the draft who has all the same measurables as Calvin Johnson. Like
this dude is, oh man.
And he goes to the third round because we don't know whether he'll succeed as a tight end or a wide receiver at the NFL level. How about both?
How about we just line him up somewhere and see what he can do?
Oh, you mean the 6'5" guy with a 40-inch vertical leap is a good receiver? You don't say.
I'm not sure if we can make him a tight end. I don't know. That's not fair. But oh my goodness, this guy is.
What about him in run blocking? He doesn't need to run block. That dude is Calvin Johnson at the tight end position. He's insane to watch. Wow. And the best eye black I've ever seen since John Randall.
It's very all over his face.
It's just vertical.
Yeah.
Like a diagonal stripe. He looks good.
So do you think Juju they just shoo him away next year? Because, I mean, Chase is a number one.
Chase is a number one, but, Juju, he's a company man. They got rid of Antonio Brown in large part because they liked Juju so much.
Right.
And for the Steelers, like you have a lot of old fogies there.
Yeah.
If you have that receiving position down pat, you can actually maybe let Ben walk into the sunset, pick another quarterback off the scrap heap, and then you're good to go. I would lock down Juju.
Really, you would give Chase a quarterback in the heap? Like, don't you want to give him a guy that's going to just light him up? Like that is going to make him become this best receiver in the league type of deal.
Yeah, but I think culture is the thing that matters with Pittsburgh. Like it's
that's true.
consistency. They've had 3 coaches going back to the AFL NFL merger.
And we've had 20. The Browns have had 20 because we were like, maybe we're just going to use them for Christmas shopping and then we'll let them go. It's very upsetting.
Yeah, but this was not a good weekend for you. You had a terrible Browns loss.
Terrible. I went and got food. Like it was just one of those. I mean, that first pick 6 was like, oh, okay. Baker is not reading the offense, reading the defense at all, and he's not ready for this.
Yeah, and like certain injuries you can play through. If you have like got something in your non-throwing shoulder, that's fine. If you've got something in your hip, that's fine. But your ribs, that's going to be with you no matter what you're doing. It hurts when you breathe.
Right. So, I mean, if you have a broken kidney, you still can play. You know, that's not going to hurt too much.
Yeah,
right?
you might be better. You can get dialysis at halftime. It's good.
It's fine. It's good. It's good for your bones. Good for your body. But, oh, man. How was... You got some bad bets? You got... What are you...
Well, before we get into my bad bets, I do want to say that... you know what? I beat you in fantasy this week. You have a better team than me.
I was trying to get past it.
I'm 1-4. You're 4-1. You ripped me off in a trade. I will add. It was Keenan Allen and someone good.
Yeah, Malcolm.
Malcolm Brown for Michael Thomas, who he's been suspended by the Saints. People are saying, Joel, can you come back to your fantasy lineup? No. We have stricter we're very strict about conduct. He's suspended from fantasy.
He is grounded.
Not coming back.
Oh boy.
But yeah, I did not have a good week gambling wise. Yeah. I lost $250 on the weekend.
Okay. That's a good a suit from a bad place.
Just I'm gonna lose more than I'm gonna have to lose more than that to get one of my suits. You can tell I look like a metrosexual lumberjack right now.
That is a very sexy lumberjack, my friend.
And you know what? This jacket is why my gambling weekend got off to such a bad start.
What do you mean?
Well, okay, so I had homework Friday night.
Yeah.
0-2 on baseball bets. Missed on them both. That Dodgers line gets me once again. I've been riding the Astros. I reverse course on the Astros.
Yeah.
I figured, you know what? If they're going to lose this game, I can win them back on game 7. The Tampa will be too damaged psychologically to win that game 7. But baseball's stupid. There's no logic to it, and it's random chance.
It is. I mean, it's just people sitting around waiting to go play their sport. So
but I had engagement photos today. We had a great time. We had some good photos, but I had to get a wardrobe for it. So I was 30 seconds late in placing my bet for the biggest lock in sports. Yeah. Clemson first quarter. That didn't go through, and that was a bad sign.
Did you know until after your cute engagement photos? No, they turned out well? Do you got any previews for us?
No previews. I've had enough conversations about them that I'm never going to look at the proofs, and it's going to drive my fiance crazy. It's like, you know what? I've given enough energy to this. I'm done. I'm moving forward. We're on
to Cincinnati?
Yeah, acting like Bill Belichick. In your relationship's never good. It's just like compartmentalized moving forward. I was saying... We laid in, tramped a hot dog.
Oh, wow. That's good. Did you finish it?
No, you know what? Maybe she's not the right woman for me. She put onions on there.
Oh, everyone loves onions.
I don't like those slimy onions. I like onions when they're not cooked or when they're cooked a lot. When onions are just cooked a little bit, not for me. I feel like I'm swallowing slugs.
Ooh, give me that hard crunch. Give me that. That's all day.
I like a hard crunch. I like a red onion. I like a white onion. But a steamed onion, not for me.
Yeah, it's a little wet noodle for sure.
Yeah, so Saturday, 0-4 on college football. Miami, they move the line. I lose that by a point.
Damn.
Arkansas, they blow out a much better Ole Miss team.
Right.
And Tennessee, a team that I watched go toe-to-toe with Georgia last week, gets blown out at home by Kentucky.
Oh, Kentucky's kind of they're kind of good. So.
But Kentucky was missing their best player.
Yeah. But that's what they rally about. That's what you rally on. Those are those teams that are good.
Yeah, I didn't think the Kentucky men's football team was a Ewing theory candidate, but here we are.
Oh, you were talking about Clemson. I looked it up because that score was outrageous.
Final score?
It was 73-7, something like that. So the most lopsided game in college football history, occurred in 1916 when Georgia Tech beat Cumberland. So Georgia Tech is just they were waiting for a wallop from 1916.
Yeah,
So,
this was for Cumberland.
we will revenge you for years and years.
Yeah,
But
Trevor Lawrence is avenging old cum.
Jesus. That was how they rallied together.
Okay, so I'm fine with losing money on college football because
Yeah.
I'm just dipping my toes into the water. I'm gonna be bad now because
Dipping
I'm
your
gonna
toes.
be good during bowl season.
Uh-huh.
But NFL, my big theories, where I knew the Lions were gonna win.
Oh no, Joe.
I knew the Steelers were gonna win. I placed big bets on both, and I was like, you know what? I want to throw a little bit more out there, and I was between. Just doubling down on those bets. I thought about putting $1,000 on the Lions money line.
What?
A G, a K.
Wow, that's
a
like
pile.
Drake. That's like Drake money.
Yeah. That's the money Drake makes for buying a candle. Did you see that when the Raptors went to the bubble? Drake put a candle in each of their rooms with a distinct scent.
No, I did not do that. Oh
He
man.
gave Stanley Johnson, worst player in the NBA, a candle with the scent Williamsburg morning.
Oh, Drake. He just wants to play so bad.
Yeah.
I'm going to be the candle guy for Toronto.
Yeah.
I can do that. Ugh.
Oh, whatever. Nets need wicks too. But yeah, not a great start for me. So I did a couple things I promised I would never do on this show, and I'd like to apologize for that. I made a lot of mistakes this weekend because what have I promised not to do in this show? I pledged not to do another sweetheart parlay.
That's correct. Yeah.
I did a sweetheart parlay.
Oh, you
And
broken man.
I did another thing that I promised I would never do.
What you do?
I tied that sweetheart heart parlay to Kirk Cousins.
The worst, but no. That's
Well, I'm seeing like the Falcons fired their coach. They got a COVID scare, so not only did they have a new coach, but they weren't able to practice and instill any change in schemes. They absolutely just drove the Vikings out of the gym yesterday. They got smoked. It was an embarrassing loss for the Vikings.
Oh yeah. I mean, just Kirk was just throwing interceptions because I think he wanted to. I think he just wanted to go home. That was just an awful play for him.
Yeah, that was the strangest day in NFL history because there were two separate fan bases. And like, if you look at the ratios, like if your team was playing at 1:00 on Sunday, there was a 20% chance you were wishing Case Keenum was your starting quarterback.
It's like, where is Case? I need to bring Case back in. But I was looking at the Falcons, just like their free agent signings over the year. And their pass rush is an issue. As a Madden GM, I've made a lot of teams in Madden.
Yeah, what's a team name you go for?
Oh no, I just use like the regular. I'm the Cleveland Browns. Or when they trade us, when our owner moves us to New Mexico, so we're the New Mexico Browns. Doesn't sound great. Doesn't sound great at all. But when you play in a 3-4 defense, I sound like I'm a coach or anything, but we play in a 3-4 defense. It's hard to find good pass rush, and they signed Fowler for a nice contract, and he's got 1 sack.
But that was a bad signing because
It's a bad signing.
Because we watched Dante Fowler wash out once. He did great while playing next to Aaron Donald, and the inherent penetration that comes with playing next to Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
And so like he was able to exploit awful matchups and get like pressures, but that's not going to be the case when you're the guy.
Just the guy, and he's so bad. It happened with Baltimore. We got one of their pass rushers because he's in the Ravens. He knows what he's doing. He's like, but no, the defense is amazing. Of course, he's going to have a lot of sacks or whatever. And that's what teams always just mess up. They're like, well, he's got a lot, but it's like, but what's around him though? That's the big problem. So you just don't do free agent signings. You just don't do it. You don't do it for your whole starting lineup. You just don't do it.
Yeah, so it was rough. That was a bad loss for me, and you know what? I think I've been on the wrong side of the sucker bet of the week 2 weeks in a row.
Oh.
Because last week, I think the Chiefs going down to the Raiders hurt a lot of people financially.
Yeah, of course.
This week, I think the Patriots going down to the Broncos, and my boy, Drew Lock didn't get into the end zone one
Drew
time.
Lock to look good, though. I mean, he
As good as you can look without a chin.
but he's so... He is just very. You're like, I don't know what to expect from him, but he just shows up and just his good feet. Got good feet for that guy. Drew's got good feet. Love that.
Agreed. Drew's got good feet.
Yeah, hear that today on the news. Drew Lock's good feet.
Yeah, no, and that was a game the Patriots win like 99 times out of 100.
I mean, that's another game though. Just like for Baker, you don't practice for a while, and then you come back and you're expecting to be who you are, and it doesn't work that way.
So like in that time, so I lost a little bit on Saturday, and thanks to the teasers, they kind of evened out with my Steelers and Lions bets.
Yeah.
And I was able to battle back. Thanks mostly to the Miami Dolphins.
Oh, they look so good.
Yeah, I took them straight up. I teased them with the Buccaneers and like watching Aaron Rodgers throw interceptions. I believe it is my happy place.
That you always hate them, so this is probably just great for you.
And
did you cry a little bit, just like out of happiness?
Yeah, I enjoyed it, like it was nice because that frustration came out so quickly.
Oh yeah, when he gets mad, it's like you're weird. You're a weird
like
guy.
the
when you
whole
get
vibe
mad.
changes for that franchise, and you're like, I wonder what the Bears' division odds are.
Ooh, their defense is hot to trot. I'll tell you what.
And then I could have evened out for the weekend. There was one more game.
Yeah. What did you do?
And it was the Rams and the Niners.
Right.
And I was very much in favor of the Niners. And a couple people who might be in this room right now had a lot of things to say talking me out of the Niners.
It's fair. You never know what you're going to get from Jimmy G, but yeah, man.
Yeah, you do. B- production in a good atmosphere. Everything around him makes him a better player.
I know. Yeah.
And you know what? That was the moment I placed that bet. Someone texted me like, hey, all the sharp money's on the Niners. And I was just like, all right, we're fucked.
You say shark money?
Sharp money.
Oh, okay.
Sharp. That's like someone who knows what they're doing.
Oh.
You could be a sharp. You can be a tout. You can be a whale. Those are the three things.
What about
want.
a dolphin?
If you're playing the Jets, yeah, that's something you want to be.
Okay.
If Joe Flacco is taking longer sacks than his longest completions, you're in a good place.
All right. Good to know.
But yeah, so I didn't listen myself here. So I think, doing this job, it has like an effect on me because sometimes things get a little bit overcomplicated.
Sure.
All these factors are coming in. I'm looking at the Vikings. I'm looking at the Colts. I'm looking at the Patriots. When really, I knew the things I knew. And the things I knew were Dolphins, Steelers, Lions. Didn't stick with that. So when we always have like a general NFL roundup conversation. So this week, I think we should go through all the Week 7 matchups. I'll give the line, and we'll ask what we learned about each team.
Okay. Sounds
so
good.
let's start with the Thursday night stink bomb. I do think we should preview the worst game of the week every weekend.
Oh, yeah,
but
I like it. Yeah.
This one's a little too quick. Giants at Eagles. Eagles are favored, according to DraftKings, by 6.5 points. So we learned that the Giants are the same team as Washington.
Yeah.
We learned that Philadelphia has a little fight in them.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Carson. That's regular Carson. Yeah.
They got blown out of the water. Their offensive line was so injured.
They kind of just need to throw in that towel that their offensive line. They've been holding on to offensive linemen for so long and not been able to go through the draft and find someone replaceable. I mean, you have a franchise quarterback. You got to protect this guy.
Yeah, but there was tough things with the timing of the injury report. Like Lane Johnson didn't play, and that wasn't announced till Saturday. And you see that, and that's
feast. That's feast time.
Yeah, I mean, they were lucky to get a cover. They were probably never going to get a win that game. But in this game this week, there's nothing going on with the Giants. The Giants don't have a single skill position player outside of Ingram.
Right.
Daniel Jones is...
He didn't fumble. That's That's the mark.
And that's the highest praise. So
Yeah.
in
Good
this,
job.
in this game, I think you see the Eagles are a team. They still care about their season.
Oh yeah, and they're so capable of still winning that division. So it's garbage.
And regardless of what happens in the Cowboys-Cardinals game tonight, it's gonna, no matter what the outcome is, it's gonna put additional motivation onto this Philadelphia Eagles team that has so far underachieved.
Yeah.
So
in our fantasy game, I went cute with the defense and picked Arizona Cardinals defense over Tampa's, and Tampa had 20 points.
Arizona's Cardinals defense, who are lost their best player for the season.
Yeah, I was being cute. It was cute. It's being a cute ball. You know that
it's
happens.
Cute. It's adorable. It's like telling a Pollock to piss in the corner of a circular room. Cute.
It's going all over the place.
Okay, so that one, I think last week, we look ahead. You take the Eagles. Next one, Bills, favored by 10 points against the Jets. We do not know the result of the Bills game, nor will we, guys.
Oh.
We're in a Props Network bubble. I gotta go. I love the Chiefs-Bills game. I'm gonna watch it when I go home. In this game, I have to ask, what are the odds of the Jets going 0-16? Is that the best way to enjoy betting on the Jets this year?
Yes. How bad they are? Yes. It's the only way.
The Jets, they traded their defensive tackle to the Buccaneers during the game yesterday.
Are you serious?
Yeah, Steve McClendon, he was traded from the Jets to the Bucs. And then the team's like, hey, you want to come back here and stuff? He's like, nah, I'm just going to stay in Florida. So he rented a car and just drove to Tampa.
What an amazing trade.
Yeah, absolutely. And you
That's
know
so
what?
funny. Just be like, okay, hey, coach, I'm just gonna hop onto the other side too. I'm just gonna go get a hot dog. If everything's fine, I'm traded, right?
And I thought this was interesting. On the same date as the game yesterday, which was October 18th, on October 18th, 1975, the Dolphins shut out the Jets as the crowd chanted for the Jets coach to be fired.
Ooh, that's a good. I wish I was there. Can we get a time machine? Go back there? That seems like a fun
let
time.
baby Hitler grow up. We want to see this Jets blow
Let's see this one.
I would honestly go back to see a Lions win a playoff game. It'd be nice.
I would love to see the Browns too. Little Ernest Biner.
And this is crazy. I got this stat from the game. It doesn't apply here.
Yeah.
But Tua became he threw the first left-handed pass in the NFL in 5 years. Is that correct?
I knew that looked weird, him throwing that ball. Is it Matt Leinart, the last one? Who's the last left-hander?
I couldn't who was the last left-hander?
I think it was Matt Leinart. I really feel like that's Matt Leinart.
All right, that's you're asking me stuff, but that is your division of labor. You're switching the job.
Left-handed QB. But yeah, I think it might be Matt Leinart, but we'll see.
Yeah, so if the Bills are only favored by 10, like that's maybe you just tie that money line to everything.
Yeah.
Like if you're going to get cute, the Bills money line is how you get cute. You can get a little multiplier.
Oh.
And then, maybe there isn't anything too interesting we can learn about the Jets or Bills right now, but this last matchup, Lions at Falcons. So you have two teams.
Yeah.
They're struggling to save their seasons. They suddenly looked like they had an ability to play defense yesterday.
Ooh.
The Lions were the secondary was so engaged. Like,
yeah, I
thought a couple guys were going to get ejected. They were hitting the shit out of the Jaguars. I loved to see it.
Yeah, they were getting after it. It was in Minshew. We're like, okay, well, we had that discussion with Jake Head about if he's a franchise quarterback. I'm like, he makes the plays. He doesn't have weapons around him. And then the Lions were just feasting on him because that line is awful.
Yeah, that line is awful.
Tim Tebow from 2010 to 2015, and then Kellen Moore from 2012 to 2017.
Oh, Kellen
and Tua.
Moore.
Yeah.
Kellen
and Pat White from 2009 to 2014.
But Pat White wasn't really a quarterback in the NFL.
No.
He was like kick returner, receiver, maybe a little wildcat in there. Meow.
I'll make sure to get a soundbite so you can do that. So.
And, when we talk about what we learned yesterday, I think we learned that we need to issue a formal apology.
To who?
DeAndre Swift, who was the best player on the field yesterday by an extremely wide margin.
Hey, it is. If we're thinking about it, he is the rookies are out of the preseason now. So they
exactly.
They have those games under their belt, and now it's really just instinct, and now you're seeing it.
19 carries, 122 yards, and 2 touchdowns. The last Lions running back to get 100+ yards and 2 touchdowns in a game?
Who you got?
Barry Sanders.
Barry!
And it took him until week 16 to do it. DeAndre Swift getting it in week 6,
Wow.
so not so bad. And it's crazy how much confidence gamblers had in the Lions.
Really?
Yeah, yesterday, a gambler, he placed a $2 million money line bet.
$2 million?
On a parlay of the Lions and the Dolphins.
I'm sorry. That's just too much money. I'm sorry. That's just $2 million?
Yeah, anonymously, too. A lot of people, if you're an Astros fan, you're probably like Mattress Mac. He's always out there with his big bets.
Yeah.
This guy is he wanted it to be anonymous. Oh, I like the Lions.
Oh, my goodness. So did he win? What's the win? Did he?
Yeah, he won. He won. That was probably, I had the Lions money line at -160.
Yeah.
So if you tied that with the Dolphins, I think that would bring it to close to even odds. So he's walking around with $4 million.
So you just get that wired in? You just take a deposit?
You have to do it cash. If you're going to a casino,
yeah,
you can't use any
cash money, homie. Oh my goodness! How do you take $4 million?
Sam, you can't place a bet at any sports book with a credit card, can you?
If you're like a big heavy hitter, you can get a line of credit.
Yeah, but even when I'm in line at Atlantic City or Vegas, you see the guys, they're walking around with their wads and so this guy, he went to the bank. They're like, hey, why are you withdrawing this money? He's like, well, I really like Stafford on the road this week.
Wow.
And somehow this bank gave him the money still.
Sheesh.
And
that's a time trial right there. He's got the sports almanac from Back to the Future, and that's what he's doing. That's the only thing that makes sense.
Yeah, so I can't believe the Lions at Falcons is one of the best games of the weekend.
Yeah.
But one of these teams, they looked great last week.
Matt looked great.
Whoever wins this game is going to have momentum for the second half of the season.
Yeah.
Both are I think they kind of want to play for Raheem Moore in Atlanta. And with the Lions, Patricia was coaching for his job yesterday, they came through for him.
Yeah, I mean, I say that the Lions are on that uptick too. I'm just not sure if the Falcons can handle the workload with a lot of people out, and they just need a running back. Yeah, Todd Gurley's great, but you really need someone to protect the ball and just give Matt some peace, and just have 150, and then I feel bad for Matt. I just don't know what's going to happen to him and the whole team. Because I remember when him and Julio Jones connected for a touchdown, you could see they hugged, they knew this might be the last time.
And it was crazy to see Matt Ryan have the swaggiest play on an entire NFL Sunday. That fourth down, he acts like he's scrambling. He backpedals like he's James Harden doing a step back.
Yeah.
Finds Julio all alone. Julio's man is trying to stop Matt.
Yeah.
Easy touchdown there.
Good on Julio too, because he could have, went to Twitter for this bad record and be like, I need to go. I just don't like this team. He just stays the course, and that's just a great player on your team to have.
Yeah, and in this context, in this gambling show, we have to look at how both these teams looked yesterday. No one knows what's going to happen in this game. Lions, Falcons, absolute stay away.
Yeah.
And, the next game might be a stay away, too.
I'm pretty sure.
Steelers at Titans, and
I'm pretty sure.
The Titans, they're just ruining every COVID theory I had for gambling.
Yeah.
We're seeing this wreck the Patriots season.
Well, Tannehill is just Tannehill and Coach Vrabel is, I'm sorry, Coach of the Year right now.
Have you seen? That was the first time in my entire life I saw a coach get his own highlight reel from a game.
Oh yeah. That 12-man, then him acting like he was mad about it is genius. He's getting an Oscar and Coach of the Year for that. That was so cool. This guy, he just knows. When you have a coach that knows the minutes and just knows the game so well, you're gonna win those close games.
Yeah, and we hit the threshold yesterday. there's certain players who it's scary to bet against. Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, they come to mind.
Yeah.
Is Mike Vrabel one of those guys now?
Yeah.
Because, I thought about going on Texans 3.5 and, Jesus, I would be so mad if they didn't do it.
They just play. And why is Ryan Tannehill so good right now?
Because he's not playing for Adam Gase. But you know what? Maybe we do go in this because the line does not reflect the awful injury that happened to Tennessee's most.
Oh, I thought you were talking about for the Steelers. Yeah.
No, not for the Steelers. For Taylor Lewan.
Oh, yeah.
The left tackle for Tennessee, the guy who's kind of absorbed the Conklin departure, really made that line go out for the year with an ACL. So if any other circumstances, any other coach, and I'm going to be on the Steelers this week, and I think they're a better team. I think they're a better version of this team, but I don't like going against Vrabel.
Oh, no. And what I'm very excited to see, what I really wanted to see out of the Cleveland was to have Nick Chubb back there and see if he could push back on the Steelers. Because, I mean, they're very tough, as I said before. And I really want to see what happens when the Steelers get knocked in the mouth a little bit.
Yeah.
How will they react to that?
And it's just in every game this year, you've kind of looked at the outside circumstances, oh, Tennessee's in trouble. Tennessee's not been in trouble at all this week.
No, they're just cool as a cucumber.
Yeah.
And the Steelers lost Devin Bush to ACL injury, so you got your middle linebacker out there that makes plays, but they have so much on that defensive side. It's a loss, but they're good. That's the thing.
Where'd Devin Bush go to school? Come on.
I don't know.
Okay, next one. I said I wasn't going to put any credence into the Browns. The Browns at the Bengals, they're favored by only 3 points. Why do we not pound this line? We saw these teams play earlier in the year.
Yeah.
Cincinnati, they had a spirited effort against Indianapolis. It looked better than it was.
Yeah.
They were very productive for about a quarter and a half, but then they didn't do anything the rest of the day.
Yeah. Yeah. This is a comeback to normal game for the Browns. They really need this game, just for divisional, because you already lost twice and you didn't look great doing it. We got to stop doing that if we want to be in the running at the end. So we just need one of these definite wins where we blow them out and we hold Joe to, I would love 10 points just to show okay, we can do this, even though that's tough for Joe. But
and there's all this talk about Joe Burrow, but they, what stopped them? Joe Mixon got hurt.
Yep.
And if they didn't do a thing, and if Joe Mixon is banged up,
they
don't have a choice.
You're gonna go with what's his name?
Giovanni Bernard. Everyone's had him on their fantasy team 10 times, and he is always terrible.
Right. You're like, oh, Giovanni's going to do it this year. And you're like, nope. Ain't doing shit.
More disappointing Giovanni's in my mom's dating life.
I don't know any Giovannis. I wish I knew a Giovanni.
Yeah, I'll introduce you to a Giovanni.
I'll introduce you to this piece of shit. Yeah, I can do that.
Hey, you want to meet a guy named Giovanni? I know a guy named Giovanni.
I know a couple.
This next game, we don't have any takeaways. I don't think. It's the Cowboys at Washington. Cowboys are only being favored by 3 points right now. And I think after tonight, they'll be favored by about 5.5 points.
Yeah, that's going to be an easy one. I'm thinking Andy. Andy has a game.
This slate's looking easy. Am I crazy about that?
No.
And we're going to talk about slam dunks. Packers field goal favorites against the Texans.
Ooh, the Texans are they're feeling spry right now.
Yeah, but if you're a team whose offense is struggling, a trip to Houston is just what you need.
Exactly.
I'll throw you some comps to the zoo. You can go meet a giraffe. You could throw some alfalfa in the rhino's mouth. Then you could just score touchdowns on this depleted Houston defense.
I love that. That sounds like a good little Sunday and Saturday right there.
Yeah, the zoo, Torchy's Tacos, blowout win. And it's gonna pain me. I might need to have you place the bet for me.
Oh, okay. I've you Like use my mouse and stuff, or like use my finger?
I'll hand you my phone. I'll tell you, hey, I need to place a wager on the Packers. I don't want to do it myself. Can you place the Packer bet for me?
Oh yeah, wow! You hate the Packers. This is
yeah,
gonna be
I'm
good.
kind of like a Hasidic guy taking a elevator during Shabbat.
Oh no! Oh good.
That is it. We're recording it. Okay, I'll explain the joke. Okay, we live in Brooklyn, New York.
Oh, boy.
My fiance, she's the only non-Hasidic employee in a Hasidic company, so I know a lot about this community. And on their Sabbath, which is Friday night to Saturday morning, great early punk song. Was that this? And then, and they aren't allowed to press elevator buttons. That's what I mean.
Thanks for explaining that to the users, people.
I was just trying to make Sam happy. I thought taking the Eagles would be enough of that.
But yeah, I know the Packers are probably gonna eat, but we'll see.
And then Panthers Saints. Panthers played their reflection. That's a perfect. The Bears and the Panthers are the same team. The Bears are just a little further along. In the process.
Teddy. Yeeks, boyish. That Teddy did not do well. That's not a version of Teddy you expect to have. But Bears defense is good.
Yeah, and in Teddy, he's not a great quarterback. He's a quarterback who's responsible, who's able, who in the right situation can win you 10 games. He's
right.
Case Keenum 2.0.
I mean, if you saw with the Saints, he just had to play compliment football and then have Alvin Kamara just bail him out. So
I love the complimentary football illusion. Complimentary football is what it's all about.
yes.
And both these teams, Panthers and Bears, they're responsible. And the Saints have an ass kicking in them, don't they?
Oh yeah, I think so. They haven't had one really as of late for all.
And the Panthers, I like them. I extol their virtues every show, but I think the tape might be out. So if we're seeing a healthy Saints team, I'm probably going to back the Saints here, and I'm probably going to lose that bet.
Yeah,
but I know it. Seahawks -3.5 at Cardinals.
Seahawks has some trouble in that West Division when they play, so it could be a close one, or Russell is just he's in it. He's in the zone. He's in the MVP zone.
I mean, those two defenses are terrible.
Yes.
If you tease the Cardinals in the under there. I like the
like that.
2-team teasers. Those have been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Like that is just as someone who occasionally will throw $50 out there just to make watching TV a little bit more exhilarating. Because that is what sports gambling is. It's putting down money to make TV more fun.
That's it.
You can't do that with Stranger Things.
You can't do that. You can make a bet. You can make a bet on 11. Yeah, see what she does that episode.
Yeah, I bet she's gonna get 6 texts from Drake after midnight tonight. Hey, he's a pedophile. So yeah, that one's there, and then 49ers at the Patriots.
This is a weird one, man.
Weird one. Patriots still favored by 3, only 3.
Do you think Cam has it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He took one bad sack yesterday that was totally his fault.
Yes. Yeah, he
But
tried to do too much.
Can
Cam
we
doing too much.
maybe be a little bit more understanding with these guys coming back from COVID?
I think we need to, but it's the NFL. You can't.
We saw Nick Saban get cured in a day and a half. Oh, boy.
He's using he's just I can do it. I can just take this elixir. But he works at a college, so I bet they have some good medicine there. What? It's a college. They have medicine. They have a department of medicine, you know? You got to do you can take some good shit there.
Well, when you're right, you're right. He's better at improv because I'll throw Brian something like, yeah, well, he'll just sometimes go and I'm just like, I got nothing. Chiefs -9.5 at Broncos.
Ooh, Drew Lock is a lock for me on this one.
9.5 is a big spread.
Yeah.
Melvin Gordon, will he be back?
No, he's sick for something.
Yeah, he wasn't out because of the DUI. He was out because he was sick, which means he's probably guilty about that DUI.
Yeah, he's got a little stomach hurt.
He feels bad. He's heartbroken.
He should be. He's letting his team down.
Now, that's a stay away. And if we're going to talk about irresponsible money line bets, how about the Jaguars visiting the patron saint of this show?
What's the number for the Jags?
-8. They're playing the Los Angeles Chargers with our boy Justin Herbert.
Yeah, I can see Justin feasting, but they're kind of like they're the same. They're the same type of teams.
They're not the same type of team because what happened with the Chargers was they got incredibly injured.
Yes.
The NFL, you can succeed with a good pass rush. Ingram's out. Bosa's been banged up. They had to throw their star rookie quarterback into the mix all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And Derwin James is out for the year. That's a lot of factors to overcome when you have a coach who can't manage games whatsoever.
That's true. I just I can see the Jags finally they've had some tough games, so you know how teams are. They screw on their shoes and just buckle them up and just plow through. I want a Minshew mania game. That's what I want.
But you think the Jags, who are actively tanking, and Minshew's a good player, but they're not giving him any line help.
No.
He doesn't have any help on defense.
Hell no.
And then he's going to travel across the country. He's going to take a 3,000-mile flight and beat a team coming off a bye that has underperformed to their talent levels so far this year. This is the best bet on the board.
You lay it out like that, and I think you got a winner, my friend.
So I think in the afternoon slate at 4:25. Ooh, they get the 4:25 start.
Hey.
The NFL cares about them.
The NFL cares.
We're gonna house the Chargers money line.
I love it.
We're gonna throw everything in our account on the Charger money line.
Cool.
And we'll be all right with that.
Cool.
And then Buccaneers at Raiders -2.5.
Ooh, Raiders are feeling it. Raiders are feeling it.
Talk me into the Raiders here.
What did I say how about Ruggs? You got Ruggs. You got John Gruden. I'm trying to sell you here. Gruden's great, and I think he can come in. He wants to beat the Bucs. That's his old team. Oh man, this is a juicy, emotional game, my friend.
But the fact that we've seen the Raiders outpour. They've been so good in national television spots.
Yeah.
But -2.5, that's too
That is
good
so
to be
close.
true.
Yeah.
If it's less than a field goal, you need to just blindly support Tampa Bay here.
Right.
Even if you're wrong, you were right for betting on Brady and Arians over Gruden and Derek Carr. And this is the 1 week Derek Carr's stock will be the highest it'll ever be.
Yes.
I'm a little afraid because the Raiders are coming off a bye.
Right.
But,
the Bucs defense looked great.
Bucs defense looked great.
Yeah.
Levante David had a couple tackles where it's how did he even get that guy down?
I know. That whole team just runs around.
Yeah, and they're not using their best offensive player in the scheme. They're not using their second best offensive player in the scheme. I think the Bucs have another level they can go to offensively.
Of course, yeah. And I really it's up to Brady. It's really up to Brady.
But maybe it's smart to just turtle these guys, use them as decoys, and then Ronald Jones has just been killing teams.
Yeah.
3 straight 100-yard games. Gronk is rounding into form. So, they're getting into shape.
Yeah.
They had a few.
It was good to see Gronk get a touchdown.
It was good to see Gronk get a touchdown. I'm so glad O.J. Howard ruptured his Achilles.
Oh, okay.
And then our last game of the week,
Ooh.
Bears at Rams -6. Vegas doesn't want us to bet on this at all, do they?
Hell no, because they know it's a good game. It's a game that you really can't compute because the Bears could just blow out, but the Bears not gonna be up. They're not gonna be the favorite team here.
No, and this line's just too big.
Yeah,
It tells me to go Bears, but in my heart,
you go Rams.
we know the Rams are winning this game.
Yeah.
This is the sort of thing where you spend all day Sunday, you're placing your bets, and you're eyeing the Sunday night game.
Yeah.
You're thinking, how am I going to make money on that? And then you always talk yourself into the dog and getting some points, and then it doesn't work out.
It doesn't work out. I don't think you do it
unless your co-host talks you out of it.
Ooh, we'll see.
It makes you support the San Francisco 49ers, not the Rams.
Well, we'll see. I think the Rams do pull it off, but you never know. You might get some Nick Foles, Super Bowl action.
Yeah, but we are in good shape here, so I think we're ready to move on to MLB after an ad read.
Oh.
Yeah. So let's give a shout out to our friends. Yes, they are our friends at Face John's Stylized Masks for the
Ooh.
Philly faithful.
Hey, what's a John?
Well, the website says John, and it's an all-purpose word used by Philadelphians.
Oh.
The girl asked the store clerk, "What do you call those Johns everyone's wearing on their face?"
Interesting. Hey, I like your John. I'm talking about your computer.
Do you like my John?
I like your John.
I'm talking about my little green West Market Street mask
Ooh,
here.
that looks comfy.
Yeah, I put it on upside down. Sam's gonna be so mad.
It's okay.
at
Just
me.
do it again. Put it on again.
Yeah, okay.
That's a good. That's comfy.
You like it? It's
Yeah.
a John.
I like
They're
it.
from our good friends at Face John's Stylized Mask for the Philly faithful. And you know what? If you do like them, if you want to get yourself one of their designer masks, go to facejohn.com. That's face, JAWN.com. And they have a wide range of masks with different prints, Philly stuff, and even sports mantra like the new Dallas Sucks John and the new Philly Special Playbook John.
Oh, I want that one.
You want the Philly Special?
Yeah.
You know, Face John, they have a belief that high quality, affordable masks should be available for everyone. And for every John you buy, they will donate one to a deserving kid at a local Philly school
That's
before they
awesome.
have to transfer out to Bel Air to live with their uncle.
That's great.
So please go to facejohns.com. And you know what? They're reversible. You can wear them upside down or the right way.
But they're great masks.
All right, so let's get into Major League Baseball. She's a new correspondent here. We've had her on before, and I think her picks have been white hot. Say hello to Props Network MLB specialist Michelle Neat. You can go around. You can go through whatever. What is up, Michelle? Well, yes. Well, let's go into that context. I had a great time watching Major League Baseball. This was the most I've enjoyed watching baseball in about probably 5 years, I'd say, since the Cubs-Cleveland series a few years back. But
You're welcome.
yeah, you got me hooked. And before we get into it, we want to go through and talk about the World Series. We want to give our listeners the smartest place to put down their bets, give their, be it a future, be it an MVP pick, or just betting this series game by game. But before we walk through the series, let's put out an epitaph for the 2020 Houston Astros.
How dare you?
What? I mean, I'm not insulting them. They technically lost the series. Is that fair? I could say that they battled back heroically. They overcame the odds.
No, wait, listen. Let me. Okay, so we lost Verlander. We lost Osuna. We lost Joe Smith opted out. So we had a virtually empty bullpen. There was Christian Javier, Nole Paredes, Luis Garcia, Andre Scrubs. So those were all like A or double A pitchers
And
that made their debut. We set an MLB record at the beginning of the season for most debuts. And for some reason, the offense couldn't do anything during the regular season. Please don't take that as a sign of disrespect. Anybody on the Astros, if you're listening.
and if we're going to talk about things the Astros lost, I'd be remiss not to include integrity.
Listen, no regrets. We just wanted it more.
Yeah, so they were down 3-0. They came storming back. They brought it to a Game 7.
Only second time it's happened in MLB history. Thank you.
Yeah, and you were very excited. You were
I was not talking.
You were talking. You compared them to the 2004 Red Sox.
I was just saying statistically they were. And yes, I was excited because I made some really hefty bets. Not hefty bets, hefty promises to the baseball gods, which, if we're being honest, I'm very glad that didn't work itself out. I promised that for a whole year I would go celibate and I would stop dating. And I was ready to keep that because that's how much a win would mean to me.
Or you would just be that insufferable if the Astros won. You couldn't be around another person.
That's actually it.
But you know what?
Nail on the head.
But you know what? you can have a great season without winning a championship, and I think the Astros had it, so I think it's fine.
Yeah, legitimately, with all jokes aside, super proud of them. Incredible stuff they did. I mean, I'm just happy they made it further than the Yankees, and they had less to work with. So, to every Yankees fan out there, eat it.
So,
Oh, they're eating it. They're very upset.
yeah, they're eating it. By it, they mean dollar pizza. So now we're here. We're at the World Series. L.A. Dodgers, Tampa Bay Rays. I'm so old. I want to say Devil Rays every time.
Well, I mean, on their hats, technically. They
Yeah.
had them.
So the Dodgers, they're favored -200. Rays are +160. Is this the sort of series that you would do with a future, or would you bet it game to game?
I would go game to game because if you look at, I mean, you can look at the stats over the postseason as a whole, but you should really look at it like what has happened in this, like in the last however many games. So I would take like the ALCS and the NLCS as a good example of how things might go down, because. Good Lord, there was one night where the Dodgers got blown out and then they didn't, and then Tampa lost 3 in a row, and it's super 2020 of the postseason.
Yeah, and the Dodgers, and baseball in particular, the public teams, they're juiced so much. There's never any value in betting on the Dodgers.
Yeah.
They were favored in every game of the NLCS.
So you're just not winning anything, really. There's like pennies.
Yeah, I mean, you can bet them. Well, there's better odds. So I lost on my Dodgers bet last night. They were favored by 1.5.
Yeah.
So if they were to have covered, my $25 would have become $40.
All right.
So it was good odds. +140, that's a decent payout.
Okay.
But -200 for the series, you can't do it. And I'm looking ahead to the game 1 line. So the starters are, we have got Kershaw going for LA. And shut up. And we've got Glasnow going for the Tampa Bay Rays. So if you were to take the Rays and they're underdogs by 1.5, you could bet $148 to win 100, or you could bet $100 on the Dodgers to win 123. And tell me if I'm wrong here. So just from the big narrative, I'm going to look at how I think the story will unfold, and I'll say the Dodgers, they need this. They have so much to prove, and they just want to bail out Kershaw with their bets tomorrow night. So that leads me to maybe want to back the Dodgers there.
I wouldn't trust your instincts because I certainly didn't. I said to multiple people, I want to say the Braves, but again, I don't trust myself, so I'm gonna go with you guy. I just won't bet on the Dodgers, and the Dodgers ended up winning last night. This first game, man, I'd have to say Tampa. I really I have to say Tampa, and I say that because, for a few reasons. Tyler the Thirst Trap Glasnow, arguably one of the most attractive men in baseball.
Who are the other candidates there? Ty Cobb.
What
I'm just
a
talking
looker.
personality here.
What a
Walker
looker.
Bueller in those pants. Chef's kiss.
So this is a series made for you. There's something to cheer for on both sides.
Yes. No, but Tyler Glasnow, the Dodgers have better numbers against him than Tampa has against Kershaw. But Kershaw, the Dodgers have lost the last 3 World Series starts with Kershaw. So there's that.
Gotta stick it. Yeah.
There's that to consider. There's also the fact to consider that, he says that he's feeling 100%, but he's still, he had back spasms like 2 seconds ago. So.
Yeah, and the back doesn't heal quickly. Like we talked about the ribs, the back's that's so much worse with that. And so in that game, if you were to back Tampa, there's good value on that. They're +145 to win the game. And then you could set yourself up for maybe backing the Dodgers game too. Do you think this will be a long series?
I think it'll go to 7 games, yes. Because, without jumping too far ahead, so Glasnow is starting the first game, Snell is starting the second game. My guess is that I want to say Charlie Morton will start the third game, and Charlie Morton is a monster out there. I have a feeling that the Dodgers will have a very hard time doing anything against him because he's just been lights out.
Yeah, Charlie looked good yesterday too.
He whooped
Yeah.
up on the Astros.
Yeah.
Charlie freaking Morton.
And I know the Rays, they use their bullpen like prohibitively.
Their bullpen is amazing. I mean, the LA has good bullpen pieces, but some of them are being used as starters, like Dustin May is being used as a starter. Gratterall is Gratterall is used pretty heavily. They don't have as many. The speed is in favor of Tampa. Pitch selection in favor of Tampa. Youth in favor of Tampa. They have a more consistent bullpen. They have more to work with.
Okay, so you could bet on the total number of games played. 7 games is plus 215. I don't think it's ever worthwhile to bet on the total number of games played. It's just like it's too easy to take a bad loss. If you're right about your hypothesis, you could still lose in so many ways. But I will say the series spread, if you like Tampa, if you think it'll go 7, Rays there plus 1.5. That way, if they win or it goes 7, the bet is yours. That's a nice outcome for anyone.
Yeah, and I think the Dodgers are gonna. You know what? I don't want to say that. That's disrespectful. Never mind.
You think the Dodgers are going to choke? You think they're going to act like
Well,
you think
I want to pay attention to history. And the thing is, Tampa is hungrier. They've only been there. This is their second World Series appearance. You've seen what they've done. They are the number 1 team in the AL, and the Dodgers are the number 1 team in the NL. So that's why I really like this World Series. Even though I'm not super vested in either team, I am vested in seeing Charlie Morton get his ring. Another one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the last time the Rays went to the World Series, they went against a contender that always disappointed, that, it was kind of the end of the window for that team. And then Philadelphia, the Phillies, they got their ring.
Yeah.
Ryan Howard vindicated that insane contract he
jeez.
has.
It's like a mix-up for me. It's like a very mixed bag of emotions because on the other hand, I would love to see Tampa win for multiple reasons.
But
Part of it is petty. A lot of it is petty, I'll admit. But also, I want LA to win so they'll finally shut up.
yeah, and LA to win. You're an Astros fan. It's the best outcome for everybody if the Dodgers win this World Series.
So they'll stop whining.
Yeah,
Jesus, they are some of the most insufferable fans.
No, they'll just whine more. It's like, well, we won this one, but we didn't win it the way we wanted to.
But we did win. But
Yeah, right.
Tampa was like,
Uh-huh.
they'll find a way.
Right, so that's what's going to happen. So we don't want that to happen for sure.
And let's talk about. So this is all being played at the ballpark in Arlington.
Mimic Made Park.
Got him. In case you didn't get that, that's an inside joke if you're a Houston resident after the year of 2005.
Jeff Blum, thank you.
And how will the ballpark in Arlington, Mimic Made Park, affect this series?
Well, it really just depends on if the roof is open or not. If the roof is closed, they've during the regular season, and I can't really I didn't really pay attention to the series that was played there so far, but the visiting team has scored 10 plus runs.
Yeah, and we know
when
that
the roof is closed, and it looks like a giant Home Depot shed.
Ooh.
So I feel like that should have something to do
Everyone
with it.
loves a Home Depot.
Yeah, and it's a crazy hit.
Beautiful turf on the inside, though.
It's an insane hitter's park. Like, this park is so friendly, it vindicated Josh Hamilton for a few years there. Turned him into an American hero. Just for a minute there. And, I don't know, looking at this, and Blake Snell's probably going in game 2, right?
Yeah, he's definitely going in game 2. They've already set their first and second, so the first and second starters.
So, I'm reading your notes here. The Dodgers have 51 average against him, 62 on base percentage, 87 slugging, and a .149 OPS.
Super low. Yeah, that's just like over his career versus the Dodgers. So I don't know how that would play. I mean, because everything plays differently in the postseason. There's a different kind of energy. anything can balance out. I'm pragmatic, so I like to be in favor of numbers and logic. But again, I'm also a baseball fan, so I want to say Snell takes it in game 2, but also the Dodgers haven't set their game 2 starter, and they have Kershaw going for the second one, but they haven't said one way or the other if Buehler is starting. The other possible ones would be Dustin May, which is not likely, or they might do like a bullpen. Sorry, they might do like a bullpen game. It's hard to say one way or the other, but why don't I just give this one to LA? We'll give game 2 to LA.
Even though I feel like the matchup favors LA more in game 1 than game 2.
But when Kershaw started in the last time he started in the NLCS, all of the numbers favored him, and he screwed himself over in a big way.
Yeah, but it also feels like he's very loaded to that team. If anyone else makes a mistake, it's fine. They're resilient. They come back. When I saw Kershaw make a mistake in that series, the whole team just crumbled. It's kind of
imploded. Yeah.
He is James Harden of baseball.
Oh, she's so bad.
I don't know if I've ever been disrespected like that to my fans.
I mean, it's true though. Like, who else? Amazing regular season track record. And then you get to the playoffs, there's some bad luck, there's a little bit of disappointment, but every year it's just some weird things happen. It's true. I mean, you could be disappointed, but I'm correct in this instance. Like, when Kershaw messed up, like, it just, the whole team was affected by it.
Yeah, it just like it started just toppling down because was that the game that they got blown out?
Yeah, like it was tight through like the first 4 innings. Kershaw gave up the lead. They took him out, and then they gave up 4 more runs. The game was over in the top of the 5th.
Yeah.
And they battled back. They made it 7-8, but like for all intents and purposes,
It's over.
yeah. And like the Dodgers, like when those big bats are coming, they're a good squad. Like yesterday, like I lost that bet because they don't know how to have any base running.
Yeah.
Oh, Atlanta? Yeah, it's like their coach said, do whatever you want. Pretend like the rules don't matter when it comes to running the bases.
Yeah, but the Dodgers, they also had that stupid like play at the plate that they could have just if they hung back, they could have had runners at first and third with 1 out. Instead, you have a runner at first with 2 outs. Not ideal.
Hey, if you're first, you're last, right? That's how it works.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're first, you're last. And also, like to back Tampa Bay in this instance,
Okay.
like you like Tampa Bay,
I mean, yeah, I like Tampa Bay. I have reasons to favor both teams.
but we also saw that the Dodgers, they came back from a deficit.